I do want to point out something about the Solo toys in that they are a considerable step up in quality than we've been getting lately from Hasbro through Disney. When The Force Awakens came out, I want to point this out. When The Force Awakens came out, we got a lot of toys. And some of them were just really noticeably not great. Like the quality was a step down. Here's Constable Zuvio. You might know him from never being in the film and being on lots and lots of shelves at Walgreens because nobody bought him. Because who is he? The figures that came out for Force Awakens were they had a lot of just really they weren't able to sit down properly. They got weird square asses like that. They completely cut back on paint ops and articulation. Accessories were kind of sparse. And thankfully, it looks like with Solo, they're finally sort of improving stuff. Specifically, here's like a side-by-side we can do. Here's, what's his name? Diego Luna? Cassian Andor from Rogue One. I think he might have been a vehicle pack-in, so his quality's a little bit crappier than usual. But he's got this jacket, which is just one piece that's molded on. He's got these very awkward, straight arms to the side. Actually, I guess they're about the same here. Solo though has the jacket is a separate piece of his body, so you can see it's the paint's a lot cleaner too.
He's way nicer.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know, cleaner paints, cleaner sculpts. The alien looks really good too. There's more dirt on him, which is good. You compare that with Zuvio, who just looks like he looks like a Ruby's Halloween costume. And they're keeping the price point the same. So the toys are getting noticeably better. They're articulated at the wrist again, which was something Star Wars figures up until 1998 or 9 with episode 1 were pretty much just 6 points of articulation. They would bend at the waist and the head and the arms, and that was it. And then they started adding elbows and wrists and knees and stuff like that. And then randomly for Force Awakens, they basically took it away and got rid of it. But it's nice to see they're starting to creep it back into the main series.
Yeah, you and I made a video a couple years ago on this show saying Star Wars toys are not great now. So we're kind of bummed out about that. And I think you can see right here, look at the new Millennium Falcon and look at the old one. Considerable differences in terms of paint ops and stuff like that. But what this one does, and I think we were talking about this, is it lights up and makes sound.
Makes a lot of
sound. So
I
think if that's what you're looking for in a toy, rather than something that looks, this is also, before Chewie crashed in the swamp or pooped in it, whatever he does in this movie.
Yeah, and I mean, I've talked to Hasbro people about this, and their whole thing is that they're making toys for kids. They're not making toys for weird old collectors like us.
But what about me, the ancient man?
I'm almost 40. What about my toys? But no, they said that it's, they look at how kids play with stuff and they try to adapt and kind of work with it. In that front, they got this thing. If you grew up with Episode 1 toys, you might remember Comtech readers. All the toys came with little chips that would have sound effects on them. Those chips are now basically built into the figures, and they talk. They make noises and stuff. But you have to buy this thing separately, which is this. It's called a Force Link, and they have these NFC chips, like Amiibo have in all the toys and the vehicles, and it theoretically makes different noises when you swipe it on there. So Solo gonna.
They call me Han Solo.
Yeah.
This better be worth it.
So there's Han Solo talking. This guy actually comes packed in with this thing. So if you want to buy a regular Han Solo figure, you got to buy this thing. Unfortunately, and I thought this would be totally straightforward and normal, but
Firmware update required.
you have to update the firmware to make the action figures talk.
I actually think that's what one of the droids says in Solo.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see what.
Who
could forget this unforgettable Chewbacca sound effect?
Firmware update required.
If a droid said it, I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. But I don't know.
I think he talks like a human at the beginning of that movie, and then he gets sick in the throat.
So you buy the toys, they come with a thing in it. They're a little bit more expensive because they have NFC chips in them, and then you got to buy this thing separately to make them talk. And then you get the thing, you go home, you put the batteries in it.
Firmware update required.
And you're like, Mom, this thing's not working. What do I do? And then you got to go and download the app and then pair it through Bluetooth with this thing, which I couldn't figure out how to do. I'm an adult man. I don't know. I use I set up a Fitbit. I've got Bluetooth crap in my car. There's stuff that I can figure out.
Halloween drapes.
Okay, all right. I'm yelling about toys too, but what do you want? This isn't the first time we've talked about the quality of Star Wars toys. We also examined the breakdown of AT-ATs over the years, or AT-ATs, depending on how you pronounce it. And then, of course, we predicted the plot of Solo based on pictures of Lego sets. We do very bad things here on Up at Noon, which is every week on Thursday at noon Pacific time on IGN. So please watch it live or recorded or whenever. We have fun.